Okay, what you see here is more than likely going to be the scoring ticker I use for the next race. Obviously, it looks a little different than from the first race I did. Now, the attributes you see here is about the length and the height. So it's about 13.4 inches long by a little more than an inch high. Now, what we're going to see is how basically I got the numbers there. I'm just going to basically just take a picture and just upload it into Paint. When I upload the pictures into Paint, it's going to be the full size. So it's 32 by 24. And basically I'm just going to scale it down so it's a little easier for me. So basically I'm going to scale it down to 25%. So then basically you're going to be left with a picture, instead of being 32 by 24, it's going to be like 8 by 6. So it's a lot easier to work with. Then obviously you're going to see here the picture is a lot smaller. And then I'm just going to take the tool you saw up there I just clicked on. Basically you're just going to make a square and just basically around the 43 and just copy and paste it into the next file. Now the next file with that would be the scoring ticker, so basically that's what I'm going to go into, and you're basically going to keep repeating this over and over again, and it does become time consuming, and that's basically the whole thing. But basically once you get your attributes set for the scoring ticker, you know, you can scale it down a little more to fit it in, or you can just keep it the way that is. I guess it's just all personal preference on what you want, but I guess here I'll just scale it down just a little to fit almost about what I have there now. But as long as you get something like that, you know, you should be okay. Now I'm going to show you how it will look like in Adobe. Okay, basically this is Adobe Premiere 7.0. Obviously this is an older version. I know there's a couple newer versions that come out. I'm not 100% sure on the names, but I know you can either download a freebie trial, or there's some sites you can get a bootleg copy. Now with mine I actually bought it, so it was very expensive purchase, several $100s about 2.5 years ago. Now basically what you saw me do there, I just uploaded the scoring ticker that I used and plopped it into the video. Now with Adobe, you know, you have the luxury of changing the speeds and durations, and basically, you know, that will not only with your stop motions, when you take pictures you can make it look faster, but also you can, you know, take one thing being your video and upload several different things at the same time, so you can overlap. For example, the scoring ticker, which I was able to do. Now once you put it in there, there's options called effect controls, and once you put down the motion, you know, you can scale it to your height, your width, and positioning. Now this is about what I worked with when I put it into the program, about somewhere around there. Now obviously with the new configuration it looks a little small. Now the thing is, with which I just showed with the mouse, it spans from black bar to black bar, so basically the scoring ticker is going to have to span the entire length. Now when you ever put a video in Adobe, it shrinks down the picture, so you have a little less picture, but it really doesn't affect it that much. So basically I'm just playing with the numbers of where to positioning it, and once you do, and this is what you're going to have to sort of, I guess, get used to, just playing around with it, scaling it to where you like. So basically that's about be your end product there. So when I play it, you know, you'll see it go and then go away. Now if you don't have Adobe or something comparable to this, this would probably be your next best option using Windows Media Maker. You get your clip and just click titles or credits, and you'll just click title on the selected clip, and you'll just go to change the title animation. Now if the camera would obviously look up to where it should be, that would be an obvious help. I guess I'm just looking at the same stuff here. Okay, here we go. Basically you're going to go to titles one line, and you're going to go to the ticker tape, and then that's basically just a scroll, and then when the text, and you'll just repeat this for lap after lap. So for example, let's say I put lap 1, and then I'll just put, like, you know, position 1, let's go with 88, 2, 24, and 3 for 29, and then you'll just repeat this, you know, lap after lap. So this is basically the next best thing to using Adobe. Okay, I've also been asked with the starting lineups how I was able to get 2 pitchers into 1. Now this is going to be a slightly different example, but you would just basically take this idea and just copy it over. This is going to be more than likely the starting lineup I'm going to use for the Hess Challenge. And then you can see there, you have a pitcher and then other information. Now the picture you saw there with the front row, this is the original photo here. And then obviously I'm just going to pan around, and it's a pretty big picture. And I'll just basically show you with the attributes. Same deal as before. When I upload it into the program, it's going to be 32 by 24. The thing that you're going to have to work with, and this is where you have to play around with, is just scaling it down to where you have room to work with. I like to scale it down to a point where I don't have any bars on horizontal or vertical. I don't have to pan around. It's basically right in front of me. So I'll just scale it down to 35% to start. And then once I do that, you'll see the obvious difference there. With 35%, I lose the bars, so I have to scroll over. It's all right there in front of me. And then what I'll just do, if I just want to get rid of some details, for example, if I want to get rid of the wall down there, I'll show you that in the morning, but I'm just going to save it as a different file, for example, to show. Now I'll go ahead and then use the tool right there. Basically, looks like a rectangle, and basically this is going to be your tool. You're just going to basically just wipe out stuff. So let's say, for example, I want to copy. I'm basically going to copy the picture and open up a new file, and then I'm going to paste it. So this is going to be necessarily the file I'm going to use to do all my graphics and stuff. And basically I'm going to just get rid of these bars here on the side. So basically I'm just going to scale it around, and obviously you saw there I wiped out the walls. So basically I just want to get rid of the bars, and then you can easily just use the attributes, but with paint for the center points and for the corners there's little blue dots, and you can move them basically in to shrink it down. So what I'm just trying to do is get rid of the vertical bar, and I was just able to do that there. And then if you wanted to add text, you can, and this would also be the same deal if you put a second picture in. Obviously you have to scale the first picture down more to fit in the second picture. So basically that's how you would accomplish doing a starting lineup.